This is a series of 100 films about Japanese places I've been. And this is a film about a place where you can gamble on horses, or speedboats, or bicycle races. Fuchu is a city in Tokyo Prefecture in the Kanto region, the area around Tokyo on the island of Honshu in eastern Japan. It's serviced by the Keio Line, the Keio Keibajo Line, the Seibu Tamagawa Line, the Nambu Line, and the Musashino Line. The first time I went here was when I had to work at Seiseki Sakuragaoka on the Keio Line on Saturdays. Now this is a place that normally no one would ever go to, and for that reason it's actually quite affordable. Since I finished work around 4:15, I occasionally stopped off at one of the major stations along the line, like Chofu or Meidaimai. Soo-pah. Now, most of these aren't particularly distinctive. They're a place where you can buy a detached single-family house at a reasonable price. But Fuchu is an exception. To get to work on Saturday mornings, I transferred to the Keio Line Semi-Special Express. And we're talking like 5 after 9 on a Saturday morning, heading out of the city. And I would just see these short, tough-looking Japanese men, a beer in one hand and the horse racing newspaper in the other, and all of them were headed to Fuchu, because that's where the main horse racing track in Tokyo is. And sure, there are other ones like Shinagawa, but Fuchu is where the emperor shows up at the beginning of the season. I suppose that's important because, along with the lottery, horse racing is one of the few legal kinds of gambling in Japan. And it attracts the same kind of dodgy characters as back home. Soo-pah. And in Fuchu, it's not just the horse races. Just a few hundred meters away are the boat races. Fuchu is on the Tama River, the main river that flows from the mountains of Tokyo all the way to Tokyo Bay. And they have the boat races on an enclosed artificial lake near the river. And you can bet on speedboats and watch from the stands. And a little further east along the river in Chofu, there's the Keio Velodrome, where you can bet on bike races, like bicycles. Not only does Fuchu have gambling, it also has a prison. And now I haven't been to the prison, fortunately. It's north of the station. What this means is that Fuchu as a city has a much higher tax base than surrounding communities. And when you get off the train, there's this open pavilion of beautiful trees. Everywhere you go, there's bushes and greenery everywhere. You know, it's all planted all around the station. And see, the reason for that is that in Japan, you pay income taxes to the federal government. And you also pay them to the local government, not the province or the state. So a city like Fuchu, because it took the prison and gambling, became one of the prettiest suburban cities in Tokyo. And it's nice along the river too. There's a walking track, and it's only half an hour to central Tokyo on the train. And except for the shady characters that show up a few times a year, Fuchu is a nice place to raise a family. How do I get there? If you're new to Japan, you'll want to start in Tokyo, the largest city in the world. From Shinjuku Station, take the Keio Line Semi-Special Express to Fuchu. The horse track is about a 15-minute walk south of the station. As always, remember that this information may be out of date by the time you're watching this. The word of the day. The word of the day is soo-pah. It means supermarket in Japanese. Important because they frequently have meals to go, and will save you a fortune over eating out all the time. So if you want to remember this word, feel free to watch this video 10 more times and repeat along with me. At least that's what I do. Next time! So that's it until next time when we visit America's greatest export to Japan. So until then, sayonara.